Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening. Today, for the month of July, we are reading The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. I know we spoke about Ernest Hemingway last month and when we did that whole road trip to Key West. Awesome video, go check that one out. Now, I thought it would be completely wrong if I didn't at least read one of his works, because if you remember, that book was a book about Ernest Hemingway, not necessarily a book from Ernest Hemingway. I figured what better book to read than The Old Man and the Sea. I thought this would be a great book for one of many reasons. I'm really into fishing. Example A, my fishing shirt. Thank you, Claudia, for getting this awesome shirt. Number two, we're actually going on a fishing trip next week to go deep sea fishing with my best friend Gabe. I figured what a better tale to read about a man and a fish. Now, really quick synopsis. This book is about a man named Santiago, and he is an old fisherman. Now, Santiago hasn't caught a fish in about 84 days. He's starting to be ridiculed by his town of fishermen. Unfortunately, he is feeling like his luck is running out. Now, he goes fishing frequently with this young lad, and this young lad is no longer allowed to fish with him because his parents don't believe that the old man will ever catch a fish again. He's kind of down on his luck, and now he's losing his support. The young boy actually wants to keep fishing with him, it's just his parents won't allow it. And it appears like this town relies a lot on fishing, so they don't really want this boy to waste his time, essentially. Now, the boy still helps him. He still takes care of him, helps him set up the boat for the next adventure. The old man, finding that he's down on his luck, says, "Today I'm gonna go out farther beyond where all the fishermen do not dare to go." He goes out, and after about a day, he actually catches an immense marlin. He doesn't know it yet. He just knows that it's something so big that it's starting to pull him and the boat away, deeper into the sea. In this book, Santiago is an old man. Typically, he has the young boy to help him. In this case, he's all alone, and he unfortunately is stuck there. He really thinks that because of his pride, he can bring this in. The old man says he is old, but he has so much experience that he's going to use that experience to bring this big marlin in and feed so many people in the town. This fish is no ordinary fish, though. This fish takes him out to sea. For 3 days and 3 nights, he fights this fish. The old man really truly believes there is no one worthy of eating this fish. After this fight that this fish has given me, no one could ever be worthy enough to chase how good this fish is. Now, finally, the man is able to wrangle up the fish after many days of fighting. The man ties the fish to the boat. When puncturing it with the harpoon, he sees that the fish starts to bleed, and naturally this attracts many sharks. After many days of fighting, this man is just tired, honestly starving, and hasn't had much water left. The sharks approach and end up taking away the marlin, bite it all, take it all away. And so the man fights back these sharks, kills many of them, but ultimately his fight was pointless. Now, the man eventually comes back to land, and thankfully he is safe and sound. He sleeps for days, but the story really comes into a complete different aspect that I didn't even think of until finishing this book. I owe a huge apology to this book because I really, even though it's short, it took me a while. It's just very old English, and I'm not a fan of that. I found it kind of boring until I watched a video about what the book is truly about. And the truth is that there's correlations between this book and religion. Now, the man is actually supposed to be a symbolism for Jesus Christ. The boy is supposed to be symbolism for one of his followers. You really see that throughout the book, and honestly, I actually owe it to myself to reread this with that in mind. Now that I know that this has symbolism of religion, I see the book completely different. One of my goals for my 24 years of life is to find religion, and honestly, I think that this book was placed into my life for a reason. There are some huge symbolisms, and what I do want to talk about with what I perceived from the book is pride is your biggest enemy. This is an old man. When I think of an old man, I think of my grandfather, and I think of a frail man. This dude was out for 3 days, 3 nights in the cold, in the water, seasick probably, but he would not let this fish go. He could have let the fish go, but because of his pride, especially coming home after 85 days of not catching a fish, well, actually catching a fish, but then having to let it go, I'm sure the man's pride was really in the way. I do want to leave you with this. There is a line in this book that has impacted me throughout this whole day, because I did finish reading it today. And that is, man can be destroyed but not beaten. That is the most powerful quote I've read in a book in many a times. This is definitely going to stick with me. I enjoyed the book for what it was, and now I'm going to reread it for what I know it should be. You might experience something one time and you see it from one side, and now you get to experience something again and open your eyes and see what wasn't there originally. What I do want to say is that from what I did gather, this book is great. It is a great story about persistence of human, about how we are smarter than animal, and honestly, it is a great story about what man can do. With that, I highly suggest you guys read The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. It is a great book. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm gonna reread it. So wish me luck on my fishing trip. I'm going next week. Thanks for joining book club for the month of July. For the month of August, one of my biggest goals is to get into understanding manifestation and using it to my advantage. But for that, I need to read more about it. So I picked up some books about manifestation and personal help books. So we'll see how many we can go through. Those are pretty quick to go through. Hopefully by the end of it, I can show you guys some lessons that I learned about myself and anything that you can incorporate into your life to help yourself. So thanks for watching. See you next time.